Hey there, Thomas. Good evening. How's your day treating you?
Good evening, Elizabeth. I'm doing well, just winding down from work. How about you?
Oh, work was hectic, but nothing I couldn't handle. So, any challenges at the office today?
The usual stuff. You know how it goes. How was your day?
Surprisingly good. Got a lot done. Do you have any plans for the evening?
Just finished up at the office, thinking of heading home.
Oh, perfect timing. You must be starving. Have you had dinner yet?
Not yet. I'm a bit hungry, but I was planning on cooking something when I get home.
Well, how about a change of plans? I'm free tonight. If you like, we could go out and have dinner. Do you remember the place by the station I told you about when we were on our date the other day? I found a new French restaurant nearby. It looks lovely, and I can't wait to try it out. A bit on the pricey side, but it's worth it. What do you say we give it a shot?
That sounds tempting, Elizabeth, but I've got this craving to cook tonight. I've got something marinating at home, you know.
Oh, come on. I promise it's worth it. French cuisine is my weakness, and I'd love for you to join me. What do you think?
Sorry, we only just dialed the other day. I don't want you to take this personally. I just really don't like spending a lot of money at restaurants on such a regular basis. I already prepared my dinner last night. I needed to leave it to soak for the night, so I was kind of looking forward to eating it for dinner today. I'm really glad you invited me, but I'll have to decline.
Uh-huh. You made something last night and you're eating it again today? Do you mean that you're going to eat leftovers?
No, not leftovers. I prepared some beef last night, and I wanted to let it marinate. It might sound like a long process, but the result is worth it.
Oh, really? Do you always make your own dinner?
Yeah, I enjoy cooking, so I'm always trying out new recipes, and like the challenges of using up what's in my refrigerator to make dinner, rather than going out to eat or buying some stuff. Food keeping is more efficient that way, to less waste and all.
Anyway, when do you want to go eat at that new French restaurant? I hear the duck foie gras is delicious.
You want to eat the dog for grass, right?
Yes, I'd love to. Let's pick a day. I've been looking forward to eating there ever since I found out.
Well, I'm afraid I'm still not sure what my plans will be for work next week, and appointments come flying in at the last minute, so I can't promise anything. I don't know when I'll have time to go out.
Even though I'm saying I really want to go, I'd like to go sometime this week. I'm sure you can make some time for me. You don't want to disappoint me, do you?
You want to go this week? That French restaurant is expensive, isn't it? Considering the ingredients used, the meal you specified is bound to cost a couple of $100s.
Yeah, I think it was around that much. What about it? Is there a problem? It's not too expensive for you, is it?
I haven't gotten my pay yet this month, so I'd prefer to go somewhere a bit more affordable. Like I said earlier, I don't really like spending a lot of money eating out. I'd be really grateful if you could respect that. I know a great tavern that's really cozy. We could go there.
Are you serious? You're being stingy. You did not just invite me to eat dinner at the tavern.
What do you mean? I'm not being stingy. I just like to spend my money wisely when it comes to food.
I can't believe you actually just said that. You eat at taverns and you think that you're spending money wisely? Thomas, you said you're 35, right? You're 35, but you still don't have enough money to spare to take a girl on a date to a French restaurant before payday. Clearly, that's because you haven't been spending your money on stuff that's worth it up until now.
So you want me to pay for the entire meal again, don't you? This is why I was trying to hint that I wasn't interested.
What do you mean again? You paid for dinner last time because that's what guys should do. And you'll pay next time too because you'll still be a guy. If you don't understand something as simple as that, then that's why nobody wants to marry you. Maybe you should read How to Be a Gentleman for Dummies before we have our next date. How could you be so stingy over paying for a few $100s for a meal at a French restaurant? Every other guy in the world would be happy to pay that much. I had such high expectations for you, but now I'm really disappointed. I can't believe you turned out to be such a Scrooge. You're a waste of my time, and a piece of crap for denying me one lousy dinner at a French restaurant.
Sorry I couldn't match up to your impossibly high expectations.
I should have realized that you were no good when we went to that Italian restaurant on our date the other day. I was glad that you agreed to the restaurant that I wanted to go to, but you chose the cheapest course, didn't you? I checked the price on the website when I went home that night. It was the second to the last option on the menu. It's a universal rule that restaurants put their cheapest options at the bottom of the menu. Why would you do something that cheap on our first date?
Huh? But you didn't even eat that course, so what's the problem? The second we sat down at our table and heard the way to explain the course, you told me that you couldn't eat a lot and asked me to change the option to a smaller but more expensive course. I had already made reservations, so I had to pay extra for the course that you asked for.
Oh, we're just making excuses and being cheap. What's the big problem? So what if you paid extra? Do you really think that you can find someone who will marry you if you say stuff like that? You want to marry me, don't you? But at this rate, I don't think I'm hooked. My impression of you is only getting worse and worse. You'll have to do a bit better than that, or you'll lose all chances of getting married, ever. So let me give you a hint. You should never invite a woman to eat at a tavern ever again. That kind of place is for poor people.
Why does it matter whether someone eats at a tavern or not? If it tastes good and I like the atmosphere, who cares how much the food costs?
That's not the problem. The problem is that I deserve more than just a dinner at a tavern. You can't make me eat somewhere so common. Do you understand how embarrassing it would be for me if someone caught me eating in a place like that? I graduated from a famous private college, and I'm working in a major company as a private secretary. I'm the best at what I do and want me to leave my career to be a housewife for you. You'll have to provide more than that. You need to put effort into making me feel like a princess. Do you understand?
No, I don't understand. And I didn't know that you were so obsessed with wealth and with how other people see you. To be honest, I'm glad I found out before it was too late.
You may have chosen to go out with me because I look cute, but you should know that I'm not just a pretty face. I have a wonderful character too. But what about you? You're 35. You're not that bad looking. I guess you can pass as average, but you're cheap and you like to nitpick about where you eat and you like to cook? With your salary, you should have a maid for that. But no, you do it all yourself. What are you, an old woman? I was shocked when you told me that you didn't want to go out to eat before your payday too. You should have enough money saved up now to go eat whenever you want. Why do you have a problem with spending money?
I'm sorry. I didn't think he reacted this badly to how I spend my money in my free time. If you think that badly of me, then maybe we shouldn't talk to each other anymore. I'm not interested in going out to eat food with someone who will insult me for how much I pay anyway. I want to enjoy my meals with someone, not impress them with a more expensive meal in a fancy restaurant.
Are you rejecting me? You've wasted so much of my time and you're just going to give up on dating me? You can't do that.
Well, I didn't mean to waste your time, but if that's what you think I've done, then maybe there's no saving this, or whatever this is.
You're unbelievable. You don't understand how I feel at all. Can't you be a bit more sympathetic?
I'm sorry about that.
On top of that, You were saying at a speed dating party that you earned $100,000. Was all that a lie? Did you just deceive me so that you could date me?
No, I didn't deceive you in particular. To be precise, I didn't earn 100,000, but
I knew it! You're a liar! I'm going to sue the host of the party. You should be more careful about who they allow to attend. I'll make sure you can never participate in another party like that ever again. And with that speed dating, you'll never find someone to marry you. A liar like you doesn't deserve a second chance. You're already 35 and haven't already got a girlfriend that you might as well give up. There's no hope for you. Nobody will ever want to be with you anyway. That's your punishment for wasting my time.
you say that I wasted your time, but we only had one date together after the speed dating event. And it's not like we spent a lot of time together that night either. We went out to eat at that Italian place and went home afterward. You're talking as though we'd been dating for weeks. Plus, you're the one to talk when it comes to age. You are older than me, aren't you?
I can't believe you've asked a girl how old she is. You're the most horrible person ever. I get it that you're not a gentleman. But don't you have any manners?
A girl. If you think that I'm old, then I think I have the right to argue that you are too old to consider yourself a girl. You said you were working at the Morris Corporation, right? I remember you said that you were a private secretary, huh?
Yeah, so what? What does have to do with anything?
I happen to know the senior vice president of that company. I got the chance to meet up and talk with him the day before yesterday. I had some really interesting stuff.
What? How on earth do you know him? Where could someone like you possibly have met him?
He informed me that there was no private secretary called Elizabeth Smith working there. What does that mean? You went on and on about me lying to you about my salary. But you lied to me about what your position is.
Well, I'm not officially called a private secretary, but I do things that a private secretary is required to do. You can't have forgotten about me.
You say that, but what kind of stuff do you do? You don't seem to have made a great impression on your vice president.
Well, for your information, I checked schedules and prepared coffee for the people in the department. What else would a private secretary do?
Really? I guess that's all you can be entrusted to do.
Well, what's so funny?
Nothing. I just thought that it's interesting that you're doing stuff that's usually left to the newbies. I would have expected a private secretary to be more involved and carry out more personal tasks that need more attention to detail than remembering how many sugars your employee wants with his coffee.
Are you looking down on my work? Don't be so rude. I'm proud of what I do. It may seem unimportant to you, but it actually makes a lot of difference.
I don't deny that even the simplest and smallest jobs are all part of the bigger picture. But if that's all you do, then I have some doubts about whether you're the best. I asked him about you.
What? What did he say?
He told me that he had heard a lot about you from your colleagues.
Seriously? Has he been asking my colleagues about me? I wonder if he wants to go out with me. What else did he say?
He says that you stand out a lot. He mentioned how you wear really flashy clothes, despite only ever working in the office.
Yeah, well, I take care of the way I look. I'm always aiming to be my number one self since I'm so pretty. I guess that means the guys can't keep their eyes on me.
He also told me that you used to be pretty. But now, because of the way you dress, even if you were in the sales department, it would be too embarrassing for the company to send you out to visit clients if you were dressed like that. He said that he thought you needed to be more aware of your own age. That's pretty much what you said to me. So how does it feel to have your poison spat back at you?
What? He said that I was embarrassed? Why would he say that? I thought you said he was interested in me.
I never said that, you just assumed. Anyway, the revelation hit me like a ton of bricks. As it turns out, you and the vice president entered the company in the same year. You, fresh out of college, and if the timeline matches up, then...
What's the big fuss?
The puzzling part is, it just doesn't add up.
What's not making sense? Get straight to the point.
Your age. Or at least the age you proudly declared at the speed dating party. You confidently claim to be 38. But here's the twist. The senior vice president himself informed me he's 45 just the other day. So, are we witnessing some age manipulation tactics here?
He's probably just got his facts mixed up. He didn't start right after college.
Right. He mentioned a 2-year stint abroad after college before joining. But even with that, he's been clocking 22 years at Morris. You, on the other hand, said you wrapped up college at 21, so add 22. Well, the math paints a revealing picture. Are you concealing something?
How dare you try to calculate the girl's age? You're so insensitive.
You're not a girl anymore. If you'd just been upfront about your age, I would have respected that. Instead, you chose to poke fun at my age and spending habits, conveniently forgetting that every word would ricochet back to you. Initially, you came across as charming, funny, and intelligent. I wouldn't have minded if you fibbed a bit about your age. I could understand if it irked you. I genuinely wanted to dig deeper and get to know you better. But then, you snapped at me for not opting for a fancy French restaurant. No appreciation for covering the tab, or the one before that. I'm not feeling the interest anymore. Let's consider this an odd rendezvous and gracefully part ways.
That's my line. I don't want to date a man that lies about his salary. You don't have enough money to keep up with my needs? Then I would have dumped you someday anyway. But you really wasted my time.
It's true that I didn't write the exact amount that I make, but that doesn't mean that I make less than what I said. I actually make more. But I don't like bragging, and I just thought that any interactions I had at that party would be artificial if I was honest. So I took it down a few notches. I wanted to avoid women like you, but I guess I got caught anyway.
Huh? What are you talking about? I thought you were just a normal office worker.
Yeah, I did say that. But it's not like my position makes me any better than an office worker anyway. I didn't see the point in clarifying, but just for the sake of rubbing it in your face, I actually own a company. It's just a venture, so it's not that big. But for the past few years, our numbers have been going up, so we've made quite a profit. I've been investing in property too, so I earn way more than the 100K I told you about. Unfortunately for you, I used to be poor, so I can't get out of the habit of being careful with how I spend my money, even though I have plenty to spare. I've been putting most of my earnings into a savings account, and I just withdraw a fraction of the total to use for bills and groceries. I honestly enjoy cooking, so I still prefer to make my own dinners rather than eat expensive meals at restaurants.
So you were just being cheap, like that? I never knew you had a reason like that.
I spend money on stuff I need like my house, suits, and my car, but I don't see the point in spending money on stuff I don't need. The other thing not worth wasting my money on is someone I have no intention of marrying. Like a dinner at a French restaurant, for example.
You were deceiving me? But luckily for you, I'm willing to forgive you. I'll go with you to that tavern you were talking about if you really insist. I'll let everything you've said up until now slide.
What? I'm the one that's being forgiven. How merciful of you. And no, I don't insist. In fact, I insist that you never call me ever again.
What? Why? I've forgiven you for what you said. I'll let you take me to that place you said you wanted to go.
You're only saying all that because now you know that I own a company and make a lot of money. You're the exact type of woman I wanted to avoid at that party. That's why I lied about my salary. You were disgusted by the idea of eating at a tavern because it was beneath you. You only care about status and yourself, not me. I broke up with my girlfriend a few months back, and I'd finally regained a positive image of getting married. But I never thought that I would be insulted this much by a woman I only had one date with. I don't think I'll be going to any more speed dating parties, but I think I've done every other participant a favor by telling the host that you were lying about your job and your age.
What? You can't be serious.
I also warned them that you were verbally abusive and that your behavior was inappropriate for a grown adult. They've assured me that your application will be removed and your name will be put on the blacklist. I hope that this way you won't bother anybody else with the same crap.
What are you talking about? Wait a second. Please. I've already been kicked out of several other speed dating events. I can't lose any more chances to find someone who will marry me. You can't do this. Please, don't leave me. I think we'll be really compatible with each other. Why don't we start over?
Start over? There's nothing between us to start over. You ruined things before they had even begun. But I do pity you. I hope that you'll be able to reflect on your actions and find someone who you can respect and treat a lot better than you treated me. First, you'll have to get over yourself, old woman. Thanks to my flagging Elizabeth to the event host, she got the boot from any other gigs hosted by the same matchmakers. I guess the senior vice president's remarks about her appearance hit a nerve, because she's been doing a whole wardrobe revamp and acting all subdued around her colleagues. Went from vibrant and patterned to monotone, fading into the background like she was trying to be invisible. Word is, she's going all out on her online dating profiles, but with her standards and personality, snagging someone pulling in a solid $100,000 annually is proving to be a real challenge. As for me, I've moved on. Found my match, and she's into the same stuff I am. Cooking and chilling at friendly, comfy joints instead of those uptight black tie places. Business is looking up, and I'm stoked about the prospect of becoming a parent. Life's good, drama-free.